Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Emma and I've been sharing my life and journey as a nurse with you guys. And please subscribe if you haven't yet. I'd love to have you here. So in today's video, I'll be sharing with you guys how to survive nursing school. There are a few nursing students who follow my channel and then also some people who are considering the LPN program. So this video is for you. I'll be sharing a few tips on how to survive nursing school. So tip number one is organization. From the minute you attend nursing school, you're going to realize that there's a lot expected out of you. There are a lot of due dates. There are a lot of things that are just needed from you from day one. So when it comes to organization, I definitely encourage you to have an agenda. I carried an agenda with me and then also a binder. I'm not one of those people who needed multiple binders for all my classes. I just needed one binders with dividers, and as I finished through the semester, I would just switch out the contents from that binder and, do a whole new divider. In that agenda, I used the full month overview to write all of my assignments that were due and all the things that were due and needed from me for that entire month. And then during the weekly section from Monday through Friday, I would write a little bit more details on, the chapters that I was going to be quizzed on or tested on, any assignments or paperwork that was needed from me at a specific date. I would jot that down on the weekly calendar as well. So a calendar, an agenda is very important. You can use your phone if you want to. The second tip that I have for you guys is to find out how you learn best. There are people who learn best by visualization. There are others who need to hear and see something, and there are others who are very hands-on and need to do in order for them to learn information. And so I would definitely advise that you find out the best ways that you learn, because it's going to help you out throughout the program. Also, it's very important to know how each of your instructors teaches and what's expected from you. So, prime example, your pharmacology instructor may teach strictly out of PowerPoint, so they expect you to print out your PowerPoints and follow through during lectures. And, the exams are also exactly what you've learned on a PowerPoint. On the other hand, you may also have an instructor who teaches straight from the book and is all over the place, and that requires you to listen attentively and write down notes. So find out your instructor's teaching style and their testing style, and that is how you're going to be successful for those courses. Another reason why it's important to know your instructor's teaching style or testing style is because it's going to essentially determine how you study and how much you study and how much time you spend studying materials. You've got some instructors who are straightforward, and you've got some who will really make sure that they know that you studied hard to pass those exams and quizzes. So learn your instructor style. Don't be afraid to ask for some pointers on the first day of class or even throughout your semesters. Ask your instructors, what is the best way to study for your classes? What are the best ways to study for this quiz or for this exam? They'll tell you. 9 times out of 10, these instructors also want you to pass nursing school. You also got some who want to drive your life hell and make sure that you crawl your way through nursing school. But for the most part, most of them really do care about you passing. So don't be afraid to ask your instructor, what is the best way to study for their classes. A third tip that I have is to create some form of school routine / time management routine. I wasn't married or had kids while I was in nursing school, but some of my classmates did have children, did have partners, did lead really busy lives. We all worked. I worked 24 hours on the weekends, 12 hours Saturday, 12 hours on Sunday. And I did that on purpose because I wanted to focus Monday through Friday on school. But for those of you who cannot afford to just work part-time during nursing school, if you lead a very busy life, if you've got kids, an active life, it's important to create a school routine. I found that I had the most motivation to study at nighttime. So around 8 p.m., 9 p.m., for some reason, I was just more alert around that time to study. So I would take that time to study. I also studied while at work. I just used my time wisely because it can get overwhelming if you don't have some form of routine. And let others in your life know that, this is your routine and what to expect going forward, because nursing school is very demanding. At the end of the video, I'll share with you guys my true thoughts of nursing school, but right now, just know that some form of routine is needed out of you, because it's going to help you be consistent with your studying. Another tip that I have is to really find out your weak areas. And it's important to know your weak areas and to acknowledge them so that you can do something about it. Do you have, huge anxiety surrounding pharmacology or math? Or do you have a fear around strangers? Are you nervous about your first day of clinicals because you're scared to take care of people? Are you scared of urine? Are you scared of injections? Address those issues, find out where your weak areas are, and address them very quickly, because nursing school does force you out of your comfort zone. And so whatever it is that you think may hinder your experience or your learning in nursing school, make sure that you address it. Don't be afraid to let your instructor or your classmate know that you're struggling a little bit in this area. Can you please help me? For me, repetition was key with everything, especially when it came to checkoffs. When it came to checkoffs, you guys, if I could repeat and regurgitate the steps to whatever it is that we were being checked off on, that means that I knew that I had it. Because the day of checkoff, no matter how nervous I am, how anxious I am, if I'm able to verbalize it in my head and act it out, that means that I got it. Tip number 6, or is that 5? I don't know, I lost track. But next tip is to really prioritize, and you're going to learn about prioritizing a lot in nursing school. But when you are in a time crunch, a lot of us are busy outside of nursing school. You got work, kids, partners, whatever it is. And when in a time crunch, focus on the material that is the most important, okay? That kind of goes hand in hand with the previous tip of knowing where your weak areas are and just going from there. Time is precious. Time is valuable, especially when you're in nursing school. You may feel like there's just so much to do in so little time. So when you're in a time crunch, focus on the most important thing. One example is you've got 2 quizzes and an exam in 1 week, okay? For each of those quizzes or exams, focus on the areas, the topics, the subjects that you're not so confident on. Just focus straight on that. The way that I learned is that I work better from having first a bird's eye view of the subject, and then I kind of zoom into the more nitty-gritty details. So reading chapter summaries was very important to me. The first thing I do when we're learning a new chapter, a new section, I read the chapter summary first, because the chapter summary is basically what the author thinks is important to learn overall in that chapter. So if you're in a time crunch, read the chapter summary, figure out the main concepts and the main ideas that the author found important, and then dive into the specifics that your instructor, for example, wants you to learn. A really good study material overall that I would recommend both for nursing school and after nursing school when you're prepping for the NCLEX is a Saunders NCLEX comprehensive book. They have a version for LPN and RN programs. So buy that book. I really enjoyed it when I was studying for the NCLEX, but I really do wish that I would have used it a lot more while in nursing school, because it's literally like a crash course of what's really important for each topic that you cover. Med-surg, peds, mental health, all of that good stuff. So I'm going to post a picture of the most recent version. I'm not even going to try to show you guys my book because it's outdated. So I got it from Amazon for less than $60. It might help you in times when, time is not on your side and you need to cover topics very quickly. I would also recommend a few YouTube channels. I'm going to leave them in the description box, but they're the same YouTube channels that I recommended in my How to Pass the NCLEX video. You can check out that video, or you can also click on the description box. Another tip when it comes to just saving time, because nursing school is all about saving time and prioritizing where you're going to put your energy. But another tip is to record your lectures. Find out early on if you're able to record your lectures, because I definitely really benefited from that. And also, if I could not record that day for whatever reason, whenever I got home, I would literally pull out my phone and I would record myself reading my notes. That way, if I'm in a car, I had a 45-minute commute to work, to and from. So whenever I'm in a car, or if I'm commuting somewhere, or if I'm at work on lunch break, I can just pop in my earphones and listen to the instructor's lectures, or I can listen to myself, my own recording of notes, so that I don't have to physically carry around a book or whatever it is to study. So that was probably the best thing I've ever done, because shamelessly here, I have potentially waited last minute to study for a quiz and literally popped in my earphones and try to cram in some notes while driving to school. Don't do what I do as I say. And then also, Google is your best friend when it comes to quizzes, homeworks. Google is your best friend. So another tip that I have for you guys is to take care of yourself. Find the time, make the time, prioritize the time to take care of yourself. Whether it's 30 minutes where you get to just unwind, watch a little bit of television, watch some videos, YouTube, watch my videos, go on a walk, go on a 30-minute walk, go to the park, whatever it is, make sure that you actually find an outlet, a healthy outlet, because you're gonna need it. Nursing school is very demanding. If you're not a CNA or a PCT or a CMA, and you've never worked in the healthcare field actually taking care of people, it's very demanding, very exhausted, physically, emotionally, mentally. Nursing is real. Nursing is a lot. And so just do things that fulfill you. Last but not least, it's not really a tip, but it's an unpopular opinion. What makes nursing school hard is not the material that you're learning, you guys. It's really not. Nursing school, I've taken chemistry, I've taken physics before. Those were hard. Nursing school is not hard. The material itself is not hard. It's the demands and the expectations that are expected out of you or that are needed from you that make it a little bit more challenging. Nursing school requires you to give so much of your time that you feel like there's no way in the world that you have time for school and your private life and to just survive. You're gonna feel like sometimes you're on survival mode. That's what makes nursing school hard. It's the demands, the assignments, the back-to-back assignments, the back-to-back quizzes, the back-to-back exams, the very stressful checkoffs that we all go through. It's the stresses of nursing school that makes it look like it's challenging, but the material itself in nursing school is not hard. It is not hard. Nursing school just requires organization, discipline, and perseverance. That's all. That's it. That's all. If you're watching this and you're a nurse or you're in nursing school right now in a few semesters in, let me know in the comments, what do you really think about nursing school? All right, you guys, that's it. That's all I got for you guys. If you have any questions about any of the things that I mentioned or any other video requests that you guys have for me, please leave them in the comments and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.